Hello everybody and welcome to ZeldaSpeedRuns, broadcasting you a Link to the Past NMG Tournament 2021. We've got Group G for you today. It's FoxLisk versus matt7898. Commentating for us we have Anders and Desert Eagle 417. Say hello everybody.
Hello everybody. How's it going, everybody? You excited for a great race today? I'm Anders, and you can just call me Durs or Anders, whatever you feel like. You can also type it because you guys aren't able to talk to me.
That's right, and I'm Desert Eagle 417. You can just go with Deagle or whatever you prefer.
Deegs. I might go with Deegs today. So I see that Fox is wishing a 0 blue balls. They're naming each other's files. And Matt has picked Be Real. Serious, you can call me And.
Durs and Deegs. D&D, there we go.
And we are started. Both of these runners got some good stuff going on. So we can expect a really nice race today. I know that Fox already had the first of his matches against Dow TMB, but the rest I haven't checked to see. Do you know if Matt has had their first race yet?
I don't, but I do have this up, so let me check.
And you are brighter than I am. So for those of you just tuning in, I'll give a brief rundown. This is Matt's first. Thank you so much, Sirius.
Yep.
Brief rundown. This is The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, a game that is currently roughly 6 months younger than I am. And in this game, the main character, Link, is trying to save the realm of Hyrule from the evil Agony. Currently, we are going through the earliest split, Escape, which is a little bit of a meme in the community for tournament runs, because we're like, oh, it's Escape, whatever. But we're still going to be paying a little bit of attention here.
Yeah, there's a little bit of optimization you can do here. This is early game before you have boots, so lots of pumping is available here, which is a way, without getting super technical, is a way to kind of increase your movement speed by utilizing his movement mechanics.
Absolutely. Right now, for me, they are just completely synced up here.
Same.
Now, Deagle, I don't know how familiar you are with my disastrous commentary, but we will have a trivia break during Thieves Town.
I haven't encountered this yet, but I'm now excited for it.
I am also very excited. I got the go-ahead from the tournament admins to reintroduce trivia, which we started during the All Dungeons Restricted Major Glitch. I know how to speak words. All Dungeons Restricted Major Glitches tournament. So I'm pretty excited. I've got some new Zelda trivia questions to toss your guys' way. So look forward to that. Here is our first mini boss, the Ball and Chain Guard. A few different strats can happen here, both of them going for the 8/ and doing pretty well with it.
Yeah, very good. This is, I don't know, the general opinion, to me, this is actually one of the harder bosses or mini bosses in the game, just because of how quickly he can kill you.
To clear it up, we are not allowed to save and quit. In Restricted Major Glitches, yes, you are. Now we have saved the princess. I know what you guys are thinking. This game is so short. The goal is to save the princess. We already got her. We're barely 4 minutes into the run. Not even 4 minutes into the run. Trust me, not all is what it seems. Sorry, I'd hate to spoil it, but you know.
Man, I was waiting for the short and sweet run here, and you've just spoiled it for me.
I know, I'm the worst. I mean, maybe next we'll set up an any percent tournament, just straight up any percent, and get those 1 minute runs, you know?
Oh, God.
Hey, Ricky, it's not quite 30 years old. Because if it's 30 years old, then I'm 30 years old, and I still have a couple months.
Can we make River Clip required for that tournament?
Oh, wow. So these snakes that we're seeing them go through, Fox taking an unfortunate snake hit, they're, to me, one of the biggest RNG read the room moments in Escape. Deagle, you may or may not agree with that. Love to hear your opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, you're always walking into that room hoping for them to all be along the bottom wall and you can just pump your way along the top, but usually you're tossing a boomerang to get a couple of them out of the way or hitting it with a sword or something. And yeah, it's definitely walk in and just hope they're favorable. Otherwise, adjust as appropriate.
Yeah. So we have a really good question in the chat about what NMG is. Both Doontap and Greenham doing a great job of bringing Helpasaur King in here to give us a brief rundown. We basically play the game almost completely as intended. There are a few little glitches that save us a bit of time, but mostly it's as intended. Fox making it out of that escape, making me a little nervous there with that half a heart. But both getting out with pretty nice times.
Quite nice. Very, very close race. And, their PBs are 39 seconds apart, if I remember.
I believe that's close to, yeah.
Yeah. So this is, again, big shout outs and thanks to Wayne for, reorganizing the bracket structure here and, giving all the groups and what will eventually become the brackets, like good matches that aren't a foregone conclusion. Like, I mean, upsets happen, but, watching close races like this and participating in close races like this versus being a 135 player racing a 124 player, like, it's just much more exciting for everyone. And so, yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely thanks for that.
I think it's also just, it's not great for my blood pressure, but it's really nice to watch.
For sure.
So now that we have dropped the princess off at church, we are hanging out, going to our first real, true dungeon, Eastern Palace. It's a palace in the eastern portion of Hyrule, aptly named. This overworld gives us... It's our last full overworld without a major speed item, so we'll see how they do as they walk in here. Got the Cannonball Rng. This dungeon itself is pretty straightforward. If you know A Link to the Past and you've played through it casually, they're doing mostly the exact same stuff that you would do. In this room that both of our runners are coming up on, that's our first little manip, where they're deciding, if I step here, we'll only get 2 skeletons spawning instead of the normal 4 that you would see. But other than that, and one other little thing that we'll see later on, this is a pretty straightforward, just gaming room, or gaming dungeon.
Yep, pretty much. This, oh, nice. All right. Yeah, both these runners picking up those arrows, which in a tournament setting, I wouldn't imagine skipping those. I think if you're going for an optimal time, you would, but no one's doing that in a tournament setting.
Absolutely. We have to keep a close eye on arrow count during this run. This game is so specifically optimized, and so much work has been put into the run to get it as quick as possible so far, that there are a few little safeties that people are going to be taking, but you're off on one arrow, and well, guess you can't get through this dungeon now, you know? So, both of them doing a very nice damage boost in this big key room. Our other little glitch that I like to throw out there.
Invincibility frames for the win.
Imagine if that worked in real life. Oops, I stubbed my toe, and now I can just punch this wall.
That would make some things a lot easier to do.
I'm sure there's a superhero like that.
I guess Saiyans from DBZ, when they like take damage and come back, they come back stronger. That's kind of close.
Yeah, but it takes them 5 30-minute episodes to do stuff.
This is very true. It's not a very quick manip.
Setting up on this double readies room, very nice from both. Fox a little ahead walking into Armos Knights.
Fox also getting the beautiful red rupee drop there. That'll save him some pickups on the tree rupees later.
Beautiful, beautiful fights from both of them, actually. Very nice.
No drama at all here. Very well done.
I think the drama is that they're doing too well, making me nervous. Now we can go talk to an old man and get some fancy footwear. Though they do make me wonder, what is Link wearing before he gets these boots? Do you think he's just like barefoot? Slippers, okay. As long as they're comfy.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's wearing his nightgown still. You know, he jumps out of bed, puts on some slippers. He got his nightcap and everything.
Is technically, this is not a trivia question, it is technically titled the Green Jerkin. Fun fact.
I have not heard that before.
Yep. It is not called the Green Tunic or the Green Mail, it is the Green Jerkin. Some really nice execution from both of them now that we have these boots to really speed run. This is a real fact, actually, Clear Mouse. Source for this is the official strategy guide and the original manual.
Interesting. Matt not even going for the spin speed here. Which...
That spin speed, you either get it or you don't. I think that... I don't know that it can... There's a reason they call it the unholy spin speed, I guess, you know?
For sure. Getting the one on the way out, though.
Both of them got the one on the way out. Very nice to see. We are, Mage, unfortunately talking about a name for a type of, for lack of better terms, blouse, unfortunately. So, next time you're at your local JCPenney, I guess, just ask them to point you to the jerkins. Don't do that.
Well, I could just imagine the confusion if you walk in and ask that.
It would be very rough. So now that we have gotten our book, remember reading is fundamental, we have access to read this mysterious other language and open up the entrance to Desert Palace. Now, Desert Palace, much like Eastern Palace, is a relatively straightforward dungeon, but unlike Eastern Palace, the boss that we have to fight here is a little bit trickier in my opinion. I think that the boss of Desert Palace, Landmolus, is one of the more difficult to predict.
Yeah, for sure. This is one of the bosses that, you're probably going to practice more than anything else and continue to practice.
And as soon as you feel like you have it right, it's just gonna go. That first Armos Knights fight that we had was so quick and solid because it's very much a scripted fight when you really look at it. If you go in there and you do the exact same movements at the exact same time, it's going to be great for you. Sometimes you'll slip up here and there and you'll have to adjust, but if you do it right, it goes well. Landmo, however, is a lot more unpredictable.
Yeah, for sure.
Getting those extra arrows, always safe. Actually, I think everyone gets those, so I don't know why I mentioned it, but they're there.
If you're really running low, one of those 2 pots down there in that long vertical room also has arrows. Probably won't see anyone picking those up, but they're there.
Looks like both runners are opting to avoid the Desert 2 spin speed.
I can't blame them. That's one of those big oofs if you mess that up.
I tried it once and it did not go well. Yes, Landmo is quite a bit of an RNG thing. Where the 3 snake worms happen to spawn is always the same for that first round. You do have, as Greenham mentions, a bit more control over it, but you'll notice even between the 2 runners that there's very likely going to be a major difference between where they hop to, how short or long the hop is. So get your fingers crossed in chat, and let's hope for a nice, clean Landmo from both our runners.
For sure, we got to keep the worrying up about who's ahead. The words escaping me because words
lead
are hard.
The lead. Who's keeping the lead?
No, just like the anxiety of watching it.
Oh yeah. You see, so both of them. Oh, very nice from Fox. I think that was a 3. I might have miscounted. Might have been a 4. Fox exiting the fight with 14 arrows. Matt also having a little more trouble, but still a very nice fight, ending with 12. Both went in with 29, as is pretty usual.
Yep. Yeah, 1 extra cycle for Matt, but he knocked out that cycle immediately, so it was still some extra time, put some separation here, but it's still light world.
Typically that Landmo fight is going to be the first place where we see some distance, but it usually doesn't matter enough to decide an entire race. It's just that first portion where there is going to be almost always some kind of difference. Seeing fake flippers, ooh. Always makes me nervous when the Zoro warp is right on top of the warp itself.
Right. And that pickle for Matt moved down. That's unfortunate.
You hate to see it. For me, I mentioned this on the last race that I commed, but if I miss fake flippers due to something like that, or I just miss it, it takes me usually 6 tries to get it after that. It's either 1 try or 6 tries. There is no in between.
Pretty much. Yeah, it's once you throw off that rhythm of using the bush and getting yourself in the right position, and if you don't get it that time, it's like, well, okay, let's just roll the dice until we get it. It's not random, but it feels like just personal RNG.
Mm-hmm. Now we have saved an old man who was wandering around a cave, and so he gives us a mirror. Fox having a little bit of trouble getting this spin speed, and the boulders not being too particularly kind to him there. But he still makes it up. Very nice. Keeps his spin speed through. Very nice dash turn to get that quick warp. Squirrel getting in the way a little on Matt's side, causing him to have to pause before continuing up. But now both runners are just about in Tower of Hera, the 3rd major dungeon in the Light World.
And Matt also getting that nice quick warp there as well.
Love it. That's one of my favorite quick warps, honestly. That mini mold worm just wanted to bully Fox a little bit as he tried to get towards the basement. Like, oh, you're gonna slash me once? I'm gonna just circle around you like a donut.
I remember M. Cosler, if you guys are familiar with him, he basically told me just think of that Moldorm, or mini Moldorm, as the gatekeeper. He's either going to hit you or he's not, and you just deal with it.
Very true. So our A Link to the Past auto-scroller is right here with this tile room. Looks like both are doing very similar strats. Totally no worries to get in here, just survive. Seeing Fox in chat right now making me a little nervous.
Oh boy. But also, hating Hera is just a pretty natural thing. So it could just be a general statement.
That is very true. Hera is not my favorite dungeon. I will admit that. I don't think it's my least favorite, but to each their own.
I think I'm gonna have to agree with that. Same thing. Don't like it, but there's worse. At least it's over quick.
I notice Matt decided to take the safety switch at the bottom of that second, third floor. Hey Raiders from ZSR4, how's it going? Welcome to A Link to the Past tournament run for no major glitches. But that safety switch is going to come in handy, especially going into that final room with 1 heart. See how the bump?
Yeah, for sure. Having the extra security going into this fight. Sometimes, Moldorm here just loves to be a troll and bully you off the edge, or just generally be a bully.
Is an evil string of hamburgers. Very nice Moldworm fight, though, on Fox's side, I must admit. And it looks like Matt is keeping it nice and tight. Very good on his side, too. Brioche buns. Thank you, Hammy.
Yeah. Welcome, everyone, from ZSR4. Hope you had a nice Wind Waker race over there. I think that's what y'all are doing.
Ooh, Wind Waker. Treeples for those blue rupees. Let's see. So now we're gonna head over to get an item that you may have heard of once or twice if you've ever played any Zelda game, more or less, called the Master Sword. It's kind of famous.
It's an interesting item. I don't think I've heard of it before.
Well, the Master Sword is a holy blessed blade that is supposedly able to seal evil and blah 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 blah, and it can shoot lasers if you have full health. So we like it a little bit. It's pretty nice.
You know, this game is actually the first appearance of the Master Sword, I think.
I believe you are correct, and feel free to let us know if we are wrong on that point. Always happy to take some constructive criticism.
So, I wonder what's better, the sword beams that we have here that kind of spin around, or the like pew pew sounds from Zelda 1.
So I think that the best way to do it is to add your own pew pew sounds when you have beams.
Oh, obviously. Yeah, definitely.
You know, just like when you get spin speed, if you're not making speed noises like a race car, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's just things, you know, it's like putting flames on the side of your car to go faster. If you don't make these noises, your spin speed just won't be as good or as quick.
So now we are heading into Agonim's tower. Fox taking his again words brain. It's a Saturday, y'all. Fox making his way through Hyrule Castle to go up into Agonim's tower. This is our final Light World dungeon. A really great usage of everything we've learned so far, leading up to one of the most frustrating RNG portions of the game.
So I'd like to point out two things here. One, they both got Fence Dash earlier. And two,
Good.
What Fox just did there with hitting both of them with one sword beam and then killing them with the dash is to preserve what's called the prize pack. There's certain groups of enemies that drop certain items, and those are part of a specific group that give you a fairy. And we want to keep that fairy drop for Turtle Rock because that's a mean dungeon.
So that strategy is aptly named Fairy Skip, because you skip getting the fairy. See what we did there?
Whoa!
Right? I will say that in that room, Fox did have a little jumble trying to get the right angle to open up that chest. Maybe lost 15 frames. That is probably a lie. It was probably less than that. He is now, however, heading into Foreman's basement. One of the most RNG frustrating parts, but he had great luck in there. That second red guard just didn't even budge. Didn't even notice him until the end.
Yeah, it's so much nicer when that happens. He loves getting in my way and blocking my pots every time.
Ooh, unfortunately gets... I don't know if you would consider that frame rule, but he gets hit by that last blue guard. Oh, very good reaction from Matt. That red guard in Foreman's basement also had a little bit of trouble getting in the way, and he quickly just boomeranged him, stunning the guard, making him pretty much useless.
For sure, that was very beautifully done.
So we will see how lucky we are with these blue balls. Keeping an eye in on Fox's right now since he's started the fight. Already has one blue ball. So Ryan's wrong.
Oh. Yeah, and there's some strategy to this fight. Like, it's not a... it's still mostly RNG, whether you're getting blue balls or whatever, but you generally want to, when you're reflecting his yellow balls back at him, you generally want to try and hit him back toward the center of the room, because he's going to warp around the room, and basically you want to minimize that warp path. So trying your best to hit him to the middle or center as best you can is about all you can do to make the fight faster.
So far, we are at 3 blue balls for Fox and 2 for Matt. Looks like Fox is ending the fight with only 3, which is average, so we do love to see the average happening. Always prefer less than average, but... Matt ending it with 2, I believe, unless I forgot how math works. Which is very possible, actually, so,
Much like words, numbers are also hard.
I have 3 degrees in music. I stopped taking math classes about a decade ago, and I mostly just count to 4 now.
See, I have 3 degrees in math, and I still think numbers are hard.
Very fair. Very, very fair. Now we are heading towards Palace of Darkness, our first Dark World dungeon, a really nice overworld. One of my favorites. Kiki the Money shakes us down for a little bit of coinage, both runners remembering exactly how much money they need, and no worries there.
Yeah, this is, you're saying this is one of your favorites. This is probably my favorite dungeon, and probably also my favorite boss, even though he's really mean in the run.
Oof, this boss. This dungeon is interesting because we use the mirror, which teleports us back to the entrance so much. There's a lot of doubling back and a lot of seeing things from a different perspective, and we will also see one of the more difficult tricks that we do in this run in just a little bit, the hammer yump, the infamous hammer yump. But we're not there yet.
Nope. Both of these runners here were also in the AD tournament last year, and I don't know, any of you guys who switch back and forth between like AD and NMG categories, this dungeon has like vast, like very, very different routing. So at least every time I come back to NMG, I'm like, how do I play this dungeon again? Like, which way do I go?
Absolutely. Alright, so keep an eye on Fox's stream. He's going to be heading towards the hammer yump that I mentioned earlier, a double pixel perfect trick that can cause a little bit of stress. Great setup, very clean. Let's see if Matt has the same kind of luck today. Doing some menu buffers to make sure that you're on that exactly right pixel. And beautiful still. Loses us a little time doing those menu buffers, but it's faster to menu buffer a few times and get it right than get it wrong and have to do it again.
For sure. If you are doing the menu buffering after you place your bombs, do make sure to switch to the mirror in those menus so you don't have to do one extra menu. That was a very nice statue over there on Matt's side. Could almost call it a sexy statue.
I don't know. I've never been attracted to a statue in my life. That's not true. Never mind. Say what you will.
No judgment here.
Meanwhile, an amazing turtle room from Fox.
That's like the exact opposite of a turtle party. Might call that a link party.
That was like a turtle. I don't know, man. I'm hungry. The puns aren't coming great right now, but that was like a turtle funeral. Oh yeah, it was because everyone died.
That's exactly where I thought you were going.
A little less clean on Matt's side, but still very nice. Love getting out of that with no damage. We're getting a fireball on Fox's side, a second fireball, but still makes it out cleanly. This boss can be such a booty.
Yeah, that phase 2 was beautiful.
We are, we are bobbing and weaving. Managed to cancel that last fireball as the helmet broke on Matt's side. Very nice. Both runners coming out with 0 damage against Helmasaur. Makes me happy, makes my heart happy, makes sure that I'm relaxed. Could go for a margarita right about now, just how relaxed I am.
That sounds really good.
Right? Man, I miss going outside, or going places, sitting on the patio, drinking a nice adult beverage with a designated driver, as I am of age.
Yeah. Very much miss that.
Keep safe, folks.
For sure.
That's all I can say, you know. This post-pod overworld is also one of my favorites, and I know that Fox is going to do me proud with it. Some really clean movement, avoiding this murder dactyl by the tree, and we do just barely.
Very well done. Hopefully we'll see the same out of Matt.
And hopefully this item dash, very nice, very nice. Our dash. Sometimes that can go wrong. If you just miss it, get bullied. Very nice to see. So Matt stopped his downward dash before that murder dactyl a little later than Fox. Not going to, do too much to lose time, but it is worth noting that it was a little lower, just barely. Unfortunately, I missed. Did Fox get the quick warp on Flute Warp? Did you notice by chance?
I was actually looking at Matt's game at that moment, so I didn't actually see.
Same. Let's just assume that he didn't, because he told us in chat. Disappointment throughout, shame and horror.
Yeah, so here, Fox got the spin speed here. That one's a little more important to get than the one coming to get the book, because that red guard will chase you down. Because
he is nicknamed Usain Bolt, the fastest guard of Hyrule.
Yep, and he's earned that name. It's always G Tower, isn't it, Greenham? It's always G Tower.
And now that we are in Thieves Town, I'm going to give you guys a bit of trivia rules. Deagle, the trivia question is in our commentary channel. I will read that question out twice after the first runner saves the maiden in the jail cell. Our chat will have until the crystal is caught after the blind fight to answer. So just be aware.
Ooh. I actually don't remember the answer to this.
I'm trying to keep them hard because every single time that I come up with a trivia question, everyone's like, it's too hard, it's too easy. So you guys get a hard one today. Hope you're ready. Ox, don't do that.
I'm not gonna lie and not say that's not the first thought that came into my head.
Y'all, I am trying to be a professional here. Ooh, very nice Heckway from Matt. I really love to see that. Very quick thinking and went through it beautifully. That was not me changing the subject as quickly as possible at all.
Absolutely not. And yeah, that was very well done. They both had pretty good hellways there.
Yeah, I'll give you that one, Sirius. You can have until after the second crystal catch. So let me read this for you right now. Our trivia question for today. In The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we're treated to a flashback in which the 7 sages of Hyrule banished the disgraced Ganondorf. Ganondorf strikes out the Triforce of Power, allowing him to survive the sages' swords, and he kills one of the sages. Which sage does Ganondorf murder? In The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, we are treated to a flashback in which the ancient sages of Hyrule banish the disgraced Ganondorf. Ganondorf then strikes out during the banishment and kills one of the sages. Which sage did Ganondorf murder? Ricky of Kokiri has the right answer. It is the Water Sage, followed by Greenham. Very nice, guys. Guys, girls, non-binary pals. Very good answers. It's a tough one, right? That one made me think a little bit because it's such a small scene, but it's also very impactful. You win my adoration. Oh, we are seeing some hammer strats from Matt. Just the one hammer hit on the floating head. This is a scripted fight, so taking a little damage, but nothing too bad.
Yeah, the fight's not too bad. It is very scripted. You can do it perfectly. Things, you can afford a little bit of a mess up. Basically, as long as he's not going to the bottom, you've not lost like a whole bunch of time. But, obviously keeping it as tight as possible is great.
Yes, none of the sages in Twilight Princess were given official names. They are known as they're known as the ancient sages. They are the sage of water, sage of fire, sage of forest, sage of light, sage of shadow, and sage of spirit. You know, I am thinking about making a nice chicken pot pie sometime soon, Blue. So if you're ever in the area, you can get a slice. So naturally, at this point in the run, we have taken our sacred, wonderful, amazing Master Sword and given it to two gnomes to temper so that it's more powerful. Sorry, magic.
There was another Fen stash there from Fox.
Lax, how do you not slice a pot pie? Oh, I apologize, Sirius. Thank you for the correction there. Making our way downtown, walking fast, faces past, and we're in Skullwoods already. We'll see FoxLisk coming up on one of the most difficult rooms.
I respect what you just did.
My cat keeps rubbing her face against my keyboard, and my keyboard has an automatic calculator button. She's opened 5 instances of the calculator during this split.
She just tried to do very important computations.
She's like, hey, I heard you can't pass 4, I got you. Still very nice on Fox's side with that difficult room. Let's see how we're doing over here. Ooh, Matt getting a little struggle with one of those mummies, but reacts very well, avoiding damage.
Neither of our runners getting meme rocked here by the old bush rocks.
Yeah, but now you've said that, there's going to be a chance they'll get it later.
I mean, maybe. Beautiful torches over there from Fox.
Very nice to see. That's always a tough room, especially in casual play. And a difficult boss coming up on Fox's side. Let's see if our mothy friend cooperates. Oh, very nice, actually. Had me a little worried there, up in that corner.
Yeah, very nicely done. Those
And
pokes
very
are
nice.
where it's at.
Absolutely. I've still not perfected them or even gotten close. Matt having also a very nice torches room before heading towards Mothula.
Matt also having a little bit better time with the mummy there to get the key. Fox missing, hitting him into the spike. But Matt got it.
Matt having a really difficult moth fight. Comes out of it okay, but that moth puts a giant moth in a small room like that with a conveyor belt and spikes. I'm sorry. That's clearly animal abuse.
Yeah, for sure. You know, the boss of Skull Woods isn't the moth, it's the room.
It kind of is, really. The room is what makes him not take damage. The room is what makes me walk into spikes. Mothula is just trying to... What if Mothula wasn't the boss? Mothula just happened to be there.
Yeah, the moth only attacks you because, like, Ganon stuck him in there and he's so mad about it. He's just like, here's a thing, I'm mad.
And notice the hole that you fall through is way too small for Mothula to be able to escape through. Ganon left him there to die. Or her there. I don't know. Or them there. Let's see how we're doing on our frame... Oh, keeping it safe on Fox's side of the screen with that difficult Dark World screen right there. That, I can't remember. It's not Barry. The little tentacly guys, they can be pretty difficult on that screen.
Yes,
Ropa. Thank you, Greenham. I always try and remember that based on the dish Ropa Vieja.
The only name I could come up with was Popo, which is the Light World version, and something inappropriate.
And with that, Matt had a great luck with that one as well. Now we are heading to Zora's domain so that a large Zora can sell us a smaller Zora's hollowed out feet.
Here's a fun fact. These are for your hands, the flippers in this game.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Here's another fun fact. That's really weird. Everyone make sure that if you didn't yesterday that you wished Squiddo an amazing National Cheese Doodle Day. Which was yesterday. Today's actually National Oreo Day, but that's not the point.
No, Cheese Doodle Day sounds like it should be a national holiday around the world.
So an international holiday.
Yeah, that.
Ooh,
words.
Fox having a little bit of trouble having to pause with those Zoras to get into this warp, but makes it... That warp can be a bit frustrating. It's hard to hit the actual warp point on there. Does it well. Great Spooky going into Ice Palace. Don't blink and you'll miss it. I'm out here like, I wonder if you can make a model squid using cheese doodles as the tentacles.
If you believe hard enough, you can do it.
If you can believe, you can achieve, or something. No, Kaz, note, yesterday was National Cheese Doodle Day, which we celebrate for squid. And today is National Oreo Day. I don't know anyone with a birthday on Oreo Day, but I will wish them a happy birthday as well. Very solid Ice Palace bomb jump from FoxLisk. Ice Palace bomb jump, notably one of the most important tricks necessary for this speedrun. I don't know pretty much anyone who doesn't do it. And I can also guarantee that because when I was in... Ooh, very nice Fox clipping through the side rail there. Losing a little bit of time on that conveyor room on Matt's side due to the... Not clipping, I apologize, due to the damage taken, not getting quite the right boost that we wanted. but still a very nice Ice Palace Bomb jump. Meanwhile, Fox heading into the Cold Stare fight. You want to talk to us a little bit about this, what we're looking for here, Deagle?
Yeah, so for the Cold Stare fight, you want to get 8 Fire Rod shots off to break the ice. And then after that, you want to position yourself to do a spin attack to pin him into the right corner. And then you have a couple options from there how you're going to fight him. You can do some poke dashes to keep him in the corner and finish off with a spin. You can let another spin off and then keep slashing him into the corner. It's kind of a personal flavor. I think the poke dashes are the way to go for the quickest strat, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, this is one of the fights, or the only fight that you really. That's a little. That's very unfortunate for Matt.
That's really a struggle, especially because now we have to go searching for some magic to be able to continue in the dungeon. Looks like Matt is doing exactly what I think he's going to, which is tossing. I believe it is. Oh no, he's going to. Okay. Keeping it safe.
Yep, we're just going to swamp. Not a bad call here.
That makes sense. My thought was that he was going to throw bushes at the pickles and hope for some magic, and then farm out the magic in Pengator rooms. But this is a calculated, smart choice.
Yeah, very much. I also thought he was going to go the pickle route, because I think most, if not all of I think it's just most of their prize pack has small and large magic drops.
And if it doesn't, don't worry. Everyone in chat will yell at us to let us know. With love. Mostly with love.
Well-intentioned yelling.
Absolutely. Gosh, I just remembered that I have a really nice thing of Oreos in my pantry that I was going to make into a tart. Thank you for confirming for us, Greenham. It's all but 2 of the drops in that pack, so there was a very good chance that we would have gotten it, but either way.
Yeah. Okay, I had a feeling maybe the other 2 are like hearts or rupees or something. Well, not much else it could be. I don't think they drop bombs. Anyway, most of them are magic. That's the point. Anyone interested in the details of the prize pack stuff that I keep talking about, there's a nice list of all of them there.
Ooh, having a little trouble getting that switch to pull on Matt's side of the screen to flood that bottom layer. With the skeleton getting in that area. It's a bit of a time loss, but handles it well. Now they're synced up on my screen for a portion, just different portions of the same screen.
It's always fun to see the sync, even if it's not real sync.
Fox bleeding a mediocre, minimal bit of time by having to double back to pick up that key that he thought he picked up but didn't pick up. Sirius, we had a death in Ice Palace. So Matt opted to move towards Swamp and assumedly circle back. By assumedly, I mean assuredly, because you can't really complete the game without all the crystals, right? Unless y'all know something I don't know. In NMG. It's my quantifier.
I was just about to say, it's like, if you really want to...
Well, actually... I knew everyone was gonna do it, because you guys can't leave good enough alone.
Never. Ooh, Matt getting the nice positioning there to hook shot to the key skull.
But taking an annoying hit after he popped down there, you know?
Swamp Palace gonna Swamp Palace.
That should be on a t-shirt. Someone called the Yeti, or whoever does t-shirts.
I forget who it was, but someone described Swamp Palace to me as like the dungeon of 1,000 paper cuts, because nothing hits particularly hard, but everything will hit you.
Yeah, that's fair. My favorite is the little Tektite room before you hit the boss, where you're like, oh, I have to go swimming? Oh, they're all going to hit me no matter what I do. Very nice on that same point out on Fox's portion. Yes, as noted by the 3-digit rupee counter in the upper left-hand corner, this is a vanilla speedrun. So, to the best of my knowledge, everything's going to be where you think it is.
Nice.
Not quite getting that Zero cycle that we hope to see on this Argus fight.
It was a good try. It's one of those really tricky strats that I've not even come close to getting.
I think I'd need to grow another couple fingers if I needed to do that ever, so I just opted to not do it.
Is Fox in here posting spoilers?
Very nice.
Yes.
Very nice.
Beautifully done.
Yeah. That one or Zero cycle is always very nice. We do not like to give Argus the chance to spin his surviving or non-surviving puffballs out around us. And there's nothing worse than that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you think you get the Zero cycle, but you get an empty cycle instead.
It's such a giant troll. Oh, man. I like to think he's just floating there making noises at you when he does that.
Absolutely. Sometimes I like to give bosses voices. And for him it's just like, hey, you killed all my puffballs. That wasn't very nice. Alright, so Matt opting to go back and rush through Ice Palace is the one that we're on. Unfortunately, we pretty much have to go all the way through the entire dungeon portion again. Only changes are some of the open doors do not have to be opened.
Yep. Meanwhile, Fox continuing on to Meyer here. And actually, here's a difference that we're going to see, at least looking at Matt's PB. Normally, if I remember correctly here, Matt would do Ether and Ice Rod both after Ice here. Meanwhile, Fox does it after Swamp, or I don't remember what Fox did now.
Fox did
This race.
Ether after Swamp and is
After
getting
Swamp? Okay,
Ice
yeah.
Rod after Mire, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah, so doing Ether after Swamp allows you to have the hook shot, and you can climb up the long stairs on Death Mountain quite a bit faster with the hook shot.
Those hook speeds are so nice. Especially, so I'm a retired runner who never got good enough to really consider himself a runner. But the biggest thing for me was I could never figure out spin speed until shoutouts to Mutsky taught me what I was doing wrong. But I was always able to get hook speed. So I always love hook speed.
Yeah, I think you can also do that climb with a bomb, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think that's correct, but someone else will have to chime in because, you know, you can. Thank you, Sirius. I'm very concerned that I don't want to give out any misinformation, so I apologize if it seems like I'm asking chat to confirm me a lot. I am, because I want to be accurate. So let's get our good positive vibes in the chat for Matt right now on this Cold Stare refight. One of them gets away, but it looks like we're still doing pretty well. This is, yep, a very nice fight. Not quite the perfect dash buffers that we would hope to see, but still a very quick, solid fight.
Yeah, very nicely done. Yeah, whenever he breaks out like that, you know, it's scary. Because if Cold Stare starts really bouncing around and really separating, then, you know, they're coming at you from 2-3 different angles, but it was very nicely contained.
There's also all the environmental damage that you're dealing with in that situation. The falling ice cubes and which way that they're shattering. It's always difficult. So very good. Love to see. One, I love to see that Matt remembered to go back because I have a feeling that I wouldn't have. And two, love to see him making it through. Meanwhile, Sirius is making his way down to the basement of Misery Mire, the very same dungeon that I believe we're going to see Matt fluting to right now. Now, last race
Matt's
I saw,
getting Ether first.
That's the one. I even
And
said
Ice
that.
Rod.
I said that at one point. I remember words. An extra menu buffer there from Fox, but nothing really to worry about when getting that final spooky hit there. Or first spooky hit there, I apologize. And looking nice on health going into this next boss fight.
Yeah, 7 should be probably a good minimum to go in with. I think you can do it with slightly less, but 7's a good safe amount.
Yeah, I believe someone did it earlier with 5 or 6. I do not know what is being asked of me at this point, Sirius. Thank you for the correction there, Greenham. Technically, you can get away with that strat with 4.5 hearts. Other than that, you may have to hide in a corner. Oh, Sirius, I would like to know what is being said.
You said Sirius instead of Fox earlier.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes my eyes and brain don't work in tandem. I apologize for that. Meanwhile, Fox is leaving Mire while Matt is about to head in.
So now Fox will be going to get their Ice Rod and then headed up the mountain again.
A pretty clean Mire 2 from Matt. Only one extra sword beam slash for the final Ropa, or whatever it is. So very nice.
Nice Death Mountain here from Fox.
Yeah. Oh, but decided to jump into the void. You cursed him. That was on you, Deegs.
Look, there's sparkly bits down there, and I would be pretty curious too, okay?
Yeah, I guess that's fair. I just got done playing some Spelunky too, so I guess my mind's on gemstones too. Quick warp is not free, by the way. That is correct. Now entering our final crystal dungeon of the evening for Fox, we are seeing Turtle Rock.
Matt getting the nice damage boost there. When you dash through that bottom part and into the glowing orb thing that I'm sure has a name, it can either damage boost you left or right, and you want it to go right. And Matt got it, which was very nice.
Very nice. On that conveyor, or I guess it's not a conveyor, platform room with the 4 torches, Fox doing a very perfect hook shot to get off there at the exact right portion. Unfortunately, taking an extra crystal roller hit didn't quite get the iframes right where he needed them. But if we're lucky, that fairy skip we talked about in Aga Tower is going to come in handy right here. Ooh.
Oh no.
No, we missed it somewhere. In the most difficult room of the game, but has a perfect execution there and makes it through without a doubt against those chain chomps. Personally, I didn't see where he got off in that pack, but I'm sure if someone did, they did. If they didn't, they didn't. We hope to get a fairy there based on that fairy skip, but it can be... He's not off. He's not. Yeah. I thought that was where he got it. The Poke didn't drop at all.
It may or may not drop. Yeah.
Again, I am doing my best, okay? Not my favorite RNG to see right there, but not terrible.
Oh no, didn't even get it on that Pokey.
Didn't get it on that either. So now I'm a little... I guess... well...
So we've got double Pokey room now and that's about it.
Yeah. Unless he wants to kill an extra Pokey somewhere, but... Meanwhile, Matt getting through that fight in Misery Mire wonderfully with those 3 save hearts. So we can see him, instead of diverging towards Ice Rod Cave, going direct... There's our fairy. A little too late, but take it. Going straight to Death Mountain to get to Turtle Rock.
That was a bit of a clench room right there.
Yeah, I think I could make diamonds with how tense I am right now. Anybody have any coal? Deagle
Matt-
having some unfortunate luck with these silly dead rocks.
So that is usually my luck, but that was Matt this time.
Did I do it again?
Yep.
I'm sorry. I really probably should have eaten something today since it's almost 6:30 p.m. My brain is a little bit upset with me.
You're all good. Yeah, he was
doing-
going for the drive-through strat, as it's sometimes known.
Oh no, Fox. Just missing that boost that he was hoping for to get through there, but I'm a little bit nervous about his hearts.
Yeah, that's...
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just made me a little nervous. We'll see how he takes the Trinex fight here. Still going backdoor strats.
Trinex is just being mean. They're charging right at him. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
He's going for it. Alright. Got him. Yeah, so Trinex here, phase 2, you can damage him on his head until like he starts coming off the wall. And then, or I think that's at the same point his middle orb starts glowing. And that's when you have to damage him on that orb.
Unfortunately, Matt not getting the same luck with that hook shot in the Four Torches room that Fox had. But let's see, the damage boost went a little bit better to kind of make up for that. That pause there was me making sure that I said Matt and not throwing I don't checks his name in there for some reason. Because apparently that's a thing I'm doing today.
It's a community race today.
Are we having... That's a good question, though. Is there going to be an NMG community race at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow? Which is the typical weekly? Or are there actual races on the schedule?
I don't know if anyone's scheduled the race for 3 p.m., but we will definitely have the weekly.
So if you guys are looking for more A Link to the Past No Major Glitches action, and you want to... There's some races. There's races going. You like races, don't you? And tournaments. And Zelda.
For sure.
Same fairy drop on Matt's screen that Fox got.
Fox was one later. Double Pokey Rim.
You're right.
That's not the good one. Or, well, second best one.
See, my favorite, the ideal, is before Chomps. Fight me on it.
That, I agree.
Cool, no one's fighting me. I love it. Meanwhile, getting some nice execution on Fox's side in regards to the Ganon's Tower left side. Matt making his way towards the back half of Turtle Rock. Smart move using those iframes to get around that crystal roller there. Meanwhile, Fox getting ready to drop in on our good friend Armos. Remember the Armos Nights? Welcome to Armos on Ice. It's a new children's musical sensation that I know you want to go see.
So something you might have seen there on Fox's side, aside from being really clutch and going in with 18 arrows, which is exactly what you need,
Lottie made it.
Yep. Fox placed a bomb. That's not a mistake or just extra inputs. Fox specifically did that to, use their last bomb on throwing it to break the hole, and then picked up the one more bomb. Basically, it's just to remove bombs from your inventory and make it go faster.
We like to go fast. Let's see how Mimics 2 goes. Very nice. Matt hanging out on that Trinex fight. Getting some nice luck so far. No charging. Nothing too bad. Kind of ideal in my opinion.
Very nice Trinex from Matt.
FoxLisk heading into the gauntlet portion. 5 very difficult combat-heavy, environment-heavy rooms in Ganon's tower, doing very nicely. Vito, let me ask you something, since you're a lot more familiar with this game and this run than I am. What's your least favorite room in Gauntlet?
Either the one with the 2 red Zizaks or the 3 skulls. They're pretty close on my list of I hate this room.
Yeah, a lot of people have said those both. Very nice Landmo 2 Electric Boogaloo from FoxLisk as he heads up another floor to Wizrobes 1. Meanwhile, Matt racing his way towards Ganon's tower, knocking those Lionels just out of the way to avoid that damage. You don't want to get hit by those guys, they are very scary.
Oh yeah. I think it's 3 or 4 hearts of damage on Green Jerkin.
Yes, I believe it's 4, but someone will correct us or confirm. I'm sure. You bunch of pedantic nerds. It's 4. That's what I thought.
I thought so too.
Yes, we are talking about the Green Jerkin. We do not get either of the other tunic replacements.
And there's that last bomb. So that's out of our
very nice. Right now. And I believe at this point we're basically not going to menu again. Hopefully.
Fire rod.
Wait, yes we are. It just hit me in the back of my head.
It always does, doesn't it?
To fight, right?
Sure, very well done there from Fox. And Matt coming up to Armos 2 pretty soon.
Fox hanging out with our favorite copycat wizard, Agony. Geometry, the boss. Nice 3-hit on that first phase. Only 1 on the second phase. Okay, we're heading to phase 4. Right, we have 20 arrows on Matt's side for this Armos fight, so... Alright, Fox gets through Aga 2, Electric Boogaloo, and now we're going to see how we do against Ganon. Oof. Down to 1 arrow. You had me nervous there, Matt, but you made it through. Proud of you.
Very well done. It's really easy to miss an arrow on that one, when you're sliding around on the ice and...
Absolutely.
All that good stuff.
Shout out to Chex Human's Ice Armos fights. Meanwhile, we have a multi-phase Ganon to worry about on Fox's side of the screen. He's big, he's blue, he has fiery bats. Very nice bonk dodge to get in that inner circle and do some dashes. Getting us to our third phase. Hopefully the warps cooperate. No warps for that first one. Only 2 warps for Fox there. So let's hope that we get through this final phase. Get your time ready in chat, while we also wish Matt the best luck on this G gauntlet. I almost called it G2, but I was like, no, not everything is G2.
Doing very well here so far. Both sides.
Very nice, yes.
And double red Zazek's room, living up to its terribleness.
Fun fact about the Zazzix, did you know that they're... Oh, wait, ignore me. GG to Fox. 1 3 tile wide bridge stands between us and victory. There we go. Get your GGs in chat if you haven't already. With an official racetime.gg time of 1:25:28. Very nice run. And a very solid Ganon fight to the point where I blinked, was talking about Zazzix, and almost missed it.
Yep.
Apparently very close to PB, which we also enjoy hearing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, 8 seconds off PB is quite incredible for a race. Especially when your PB is, 1:25:20.
Just a very solid overall showing from Fox in this race. Meanwhile, we are approaching Moldorm 2 on Matt's side of the screen. Just gotta get through this fun little anti-fairy chest room.
Moldorm 2 running away from Matt there, trying to avoid his inevitable fate.
Sometimes you just don't want to go. You just want to, not get murdered by a child.
That's fair.
I think we can all agree on that. Let's see how Matt's geometric skills are. A 2-hit in that first phase. I wouldn't say that Link is particularly old, Josh RTA. Oof, that's a rough pattern right there. Geometry is tough, everyone. Very nice final phase there. I believe, based on the Badoop that I heard, that we are joined by FoxLisk. Hello, FoxLisk. How are you doing today?
Hey, Anders. Doing good. How about you?
Doing my best, even though I don't know anyone's names and I don't know where I am right now.
Reality is hard, really, is the conclusion of today.
True.
So, Fox, talk us through it. What are you thinking? How are you feeling?
I feel like I did not deserve to survive that Turtle Rock, but I'm glad that I did.
It was a very tense moment on our end. I will say that.
We made it through. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was a really good run. Matt was so close the whole time until that really unfortunate cold stare death. He put up a really good run. And, a really good run with one disaster is still a really good run. Although I'm sure he would have rather not have the disaster.
Yeah, for sure.
Even just sticking through it and thinking on your feet and keeping going in that situation is so difficult that you can't help but just be happy to see when someone really does his best in that sense.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, if I had in fact died on laser skip or something, he would probably have won this. So it's not like he had no chance at that point either. I don't know. Really good race. I'm happy about it.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a pleasure to watch and commentate here. And yeah, so I mean, GG on the win, and we'll tell him when he gets in here, but definite GG to Matt for just sticking it out and not getting super tilted and just everything going wrong after that cold stare death, as is easy to happen.
Fox, I believe that was your final groups era. Oh, first off, get your GGs in the chat for Matt, who just blew up a pig. We're having a luau over here.
Yeah, GG's, Matt.
But Fox, I believe that this was your final groups match. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm 2-1 in groups after this.
Alrighty. So that's exciting. Gonna move into the bracket, see how we do there. Matt finishing with a official racetime.gg time of 1:30:35. Nothing to scoff at.
For sure, still very solid time.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, considering with the cold stare death, that's a really strong time.
Absolutely. We'll see if we can get Matt in here. But during that, what do you think were some of the parts in your run that either went like better than expected or that you really would have liked to have gone better?
Well, the Turtle Rock was really bad. The Hera was pretty bad. The rest of it was really good. I mentioned in chat, but I was like half a second off of Golding Skull, which was pretty sick. I don't know. This was a really strong run for me, as you can tell. I was only +8 on my PB at the end. Can't be sad about that. Hey, Matt. GG's.
Yo, GG's.
Big GG's to Matt. Great job thinking on your feet, moving as quickly as you did to head over to Swamp. Rough Ice Palace, but you played it super well and got a great time considering that. Want to talk us through some stuff?
I don't know what happens. Everybody has bad runs like this. When my runs start going downhill, they tend to gain momentum and keep going downhill. So like for tournaments, that's not the best thing. So I probably gotta work on that maybe. But
yeah, I feel the same way, but about my life. It's just been kind of snowballing. It's still a very nice run, honestly, and that Ganon fight had me on the edge of my seat with how well you did there. Not easy Aga 2 patterns for you, but you made it out of there really well and had a super nice Ganon fight, in my opinion.
I appreciate that. I mean, like, it's really hard not to just completely give up after the cold stare death, especially when that was the first time I looked at Fox's time, and like he was probably 30 seconds ahead of my PB at that point. So I was like, at least he got a really good time that I very, very likely would not have beaten even with a good run. So I don't really feel too bad. Just get this one out of the way and hopefully do better in the next two.
I tried really hard to give it back to you in Turtle Rock. I almost died in Turtle Rock like 3 different times. You totally could have pulled back. I mean, you kept it together after that cold stare death better than I probably would have. And if anything had gone wrong in Turtle Rock, then you definitely would have had it.
That is actually the first time I've ever completed a run after dying to cold stare. I didn't even know what to do. I just went to Swamp.
You did it well.
Yeah, you did. Like, basically, it's you can kill one of the pickles back in the light world and hope they drop magic, or just punt the whole idea, go to Swamp, get your magic refill, and come back. And you did.
Yeah, I was like, do I farm the Pen Gators? I don't even know. Oh, well.
Yeah, either of those is fine.
It was absolutely solid thinking on your part to just jump around the way that you did. So,
Absolutely.
Well, anyway,
By the way,
thanks for the restream, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for a great race.
shout out to ZSR.
Yeah, thanks for the restream and thanks for the commentators. All of y'all did a great job.
Yeah,
Heck
I'm gonna
yeah.
go drink until I forget this run. So I'll talk to you later.
Man, that
See ya.
sounds nice. Any last comments before we officially pass it back to Ricky?
Yeah, thank you everyone for watching, and GG's again to Fox and Matt, and look forward to many more races.
Awesome. Take it away, Ricky.
All right,
Thanks
sorry
again.
about that. I had IRL interruption real fast. Okay, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you to our runners, matt7898 and FoxLisk for the awesome race. Thank you to Anders and Desert Eagle 417 for the awesome commentary. Always a delight to listen to. Coming up on ZSR for today, right now over on the ZSR2, we have an Ocarina of Time Randomizer weekly race, and on ZSR3, wait, I'm sorry, that's on. I'm reading the wrong things here. That's on main ZSR. And then on main ZSR3, we have a Twilight Princess tournament match that we're going to go raid right now. Later on tonight, we have at 10 p.m. on the main ZSR channel a Zelda 2 Randomizer weekly race. And first thing in the morning at 9 a.m. on ZSR2, we have an Ocarina of Time Randomizer weekly race for the European time zones. There's a lot more on the schedule. Feel free to check it out. Hope to see you all at the various matches we have tomorrow and the rest of today. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody, and have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye!